There are not many anime that exist out there that have the same kind of energy and the same kind of charm as Sergeant Frog. Being nearly 20 years old now, this is something that I truly believe deserves way more attention, and is something that I really think should stand the test of time. This is an anime that was made for anime fans. I'm Nick, and this is why everybody needs to watch this stupid frog anime. So before we had Konata from the Lucky Star gang to relate to on things like anime and games and manga, we had Sergeant Keroro, this alien frog otaku. So this green little creature comes to invade Earth with his platoon of different colored little creatures that he's all split up from. And throughout like the first handful of episodes, the gang starts getting introduced. The mission is to take over the planet. So Keroro, without his weapon of mass destruction now, or really any motivation, the sergeant just kind of ends up spending his days building Gundams and reading manga and, just causing general mischief. And he ends up living with his family, neglecting the whole, invasion of Earth thing. And he's just stuck doing chores. And I love every one of these characters. Like, all these little frog invaders are just so hilarious and have their own little quirks. Like, the first one we meet is Tamama, and he's really attached to Sarge, like, a lot. Like, 1 minute he's really happy, and then 1 minute he's losing his mind. This man could really use some professional help. I don't know why he's invading the Earth when he should be seeking a therapist. Have you ever seen, like, that gecko man online? Like, the lizard who, like, gives advice to people? I couldn't think of a better man to reach out to. Someone needs to get these two cursed animals in a call together. They could work something out. And then the next comrade that we find is Keroro. And you know how like Zoro is to Luffy, Keroro is Keroro's second in command. And this man is crazy. He's not as crazy as Tamama, but still crazy. Like, he's always got weapons with him, and he's the one always trying to convince Keroro to continue with the invasion plan. And the funny thing about him is that he's just absolutely infatuated by the main girl Natsumi. And on the outside, he's just big angry frog, but on the inside, he's, really just as soft as the rest of them. And then there's Kururu. This guy's a crazy frog scientist, and he's just kind of evil. I don't think anybody really likes him, especially Keroro. They have like a little rivalry thing. And finally, on the main frogs, we have the deepest character, alright, and that's Dororo. And he was formerly known as Zeroro, but he changed his name, he threw away his past, and now he's a ninja, and, his name is literally Dororo. And yeah, bro, I'm sure you didn't expect things to start getting this deep, but here we are, and this guy's got a messed up backstory. And poor Dororo was genuinely forgotten by the rest of his platoon. And bro is just really emotional. Like, he just always gets into these depressive states. We could probably schedule a second Gecko appointment. He might even need to slide in first, if we're being honest. And yeah, Dororo doesn't really want to take over the planet, he's just a nice guy, and he's fallen in love with the planet and nature that he's come to invade. And the humans are just as full of personality too, and honestly just as important characters. And not to mention as well, just the simple, on-the-surface character designs are genuinely, like, some of my absolute favorite in, like, all of anime. The people and the frogs are genuinely all just so charming and emotive and just cute as hell. The character designs are just really soft and, like, bubbly, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's really the only descriptive word I can think of. Yeah, so Fuyuki and Natsumi are like the main human characters, the brother and sister that go to school and stuff. And Natsumi here is in love with the cool guy Saburo, who's the one to end up reuniting Kururu to the platoon. And then there's Momika. She's a rich girl and she's got her own personal butler and stuff. And since she's like insanely wealthy, that means we could just go in a bunch of random awesome places in the story. So you can't really complain. And she's the one who finds Tamama, and like Tamama, she's absolutely insane and just kind of flips on a dime, And Momika is absolutely in love with Fuyuki and is always doing super weird things to get his attention and just embarrassing the hell out of herself. And it is always amazing. And funnily enough, in the last video I made, in my newly acquired knowledge about some random video game, I am like 99% sure that Momika is based off of this girl, Miharu, from Tokimeki Memorial. And besides just having like short blue hair and kind of similar names, and also liking cute animals, I guess. So they're both obsessed with the protagonist of the story, and they both bump into the boy in the hallway, and they talk about love at first sight. Yeah, so in the game, Miharu is like a secret character, and the only way she interacts with you is when she's purposefully but accidentally bumping into you in the hallway to get your attention. And she'll also call you on the phone and pretend like it's a mistake and stuff, and even go out of her way to, like, if you schedule a date with a girl, because it's a dating simulator, who would have guessed it, she'll show up and pretend like she's there to meet you, like you guys scheduled this. So just like Momoko, she is like consistently going way out of her way just to get some attention. I don't know if this is actually the case or not, but I'd like to think so, but what do you think? And then one of the best characters in the show is Angul Moa. She looks like a human, but she actually also comes from another planet and is Keroro's niece somehow. The only thing they really have in common is just how dumb they are. Yeah, and they're both here to destroy the planet. But Angle Moi actually has this crazy Armageddon power if she really wants to destroy the planet, you know? And this is just the damage done at like 1/1,000,000th power. So yeah, you guys are out there debating whether Saitama or Goku are gonna win in a fight. Angle Moi could 2v1 them, and then probably forget about it. And then there's Koyuki. She's a ninja, and she's the one who found Dororo. And, you know, she just kind of goes out and does, like, ninja things. She's really silly. And then the final one of, like, the main characters is their mom, Aki. And she is, like, an assistant on this manga. And she's fine with these frogs living with her because she can use their daily lives as inspiration for her story. And then there are a lot of, like, other side characters that kind of just seem like they're bait for figures. But I really don't care because, you know, like I said, every one of them are, like, so charming. You know, really except for, you know, Papa Keroro, but we won't talk about that. And if you don't know anything about this anime, I basically already told you all the important stuff, and not so important stuff, just funny stuff. You know, there really is no overarching plot, you know, it's just kind of the fun characters getting in the most random situations you could ever imagine for a bunch of weird frogs living with a weird family, you know. This is something I watched when I was really young. You know, I love Dragon Ball and everything that was on Toonami, really. But this was like the first thing that I found when I really started going out of my way to watch stuff that wasn't already on TV, you know. I like this anime so much. The first ever like online name ever, like a gamer tag thing I ever had on the Xbox 360, I called myself Alien Frog 1123. Alright, you know, someone should look that account up and see if it still exists. Let me know what games I used to play. But yeah, anime is what we're talking about. On this channel, I've said a lot of things that haven't aged the best, but also I've said some that aged kind of well, you know, and if I were to stand here right now and make another out-of-pocket little theory, I think that, you know, with the semi kind of rise up of remaking older anime, I think Sergeant Frog would really thrive and do well with like newer fans of anime if we got a remake. You know, like Urusei Yatsura and Fist of the North Star, even though those are from the 90s. Like Shaman King is from the 2000s, and that just got remade a couple years ago. And Hanako-kun is one that's only a couple years old, and for some reason it's getting a remake, you know? And there's probably a couple others too. Overall, this is like still good. Like, it doesn't need a remake, you know, but it is 20 years old at this point. And the dub in particular is like heavily edited and dumbed down, and, you know, it's more aimed at kids over here. I remember after a certain point they actually started swearing, and I just thought that was crazy. Like, it was the same kind of tier and level as like if Pokemon just started randomly swearing. And it's not a 4Kids production, but it is kind of like the next best or worst thing, you know, however you want to look at it. You know, one that I can think of that's kind of similar to this is the anime Bobobo. You know, it's got the same kind of treatment where the sub and the dub just kind of really just give off different energy. But at the same time, you know, the stories are all really episodic and all around mostly relies on the in-the-moment kind of humor. So the experiences are going to be different, but, you know, you're going to get like the same feeling and are going to laugh for like the same reasons, you know what I mean, in each version. Yeah, but right now, if you were to watch this, you know, if you wanted to watch the sub or the dub, you know, I don't think anybody is gonna judge you. And like seriously, this is something that I think deserves to stand the test of time. 20 years later, and this is still an amazing series. I still rewatch this all the time. And I just doubt that many newer fans of anime have had the chance to check this awesome series out. Or maybe they've never even heard of it, you know? And if that's the case, I really hope that this can be what has encouraged you to go check it out. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you think if you have seen it. Let me know if this was a good representation. If you got time, you should go watch these other videos I got. You know, you should just go watch every single video I've ever made. I even have a playlist of unlisted videos. But yeah, thank you for watching, appreciate you all, and have a great day.